Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're returning to War on the Sea, a new game out by Killerfish Games, the developers of Cold Waters and Atlantic Fleet. In today's stream or episode, we're going to be returning exactly where we picked up after last night. So last night we were streaming and we sank a Japanese merchant convoy, 3 merchant ships and 3 oilers. After a lot of effort, we finally got that 3rd oiler to go down before they were able to get to Guadalcanal. So I'm hoping that the Japanese won't be able to build Guadalcanal up and they'll be forced to keep the airfield down at a 0-0. We also managed to sink a Congo-class battleship, the Hiei, just to the west of Rennell Island. And so now we are having our Task Force 8, which has the USS Hornet and a vastly depleted air armada. It's got 13 Dauntlesses left, so a little bit more than half of the Dauntlesses are still alive. In an emergency, we could turn them north to make some strikes, but we only have 1 Avenger left, so not the best situation there. Our Wildcats barely got into the fight, though, so they're doing okay. But we're sending the Hornet back to New Hebrides in order to, you know, resume or refresh and get new air wings. And then we are also sending, or we just sent a battleship task force down to New Hebrides where they are already refreshed. And then, yeah, that's where we're at right now. I did notice, by the way, I don't know if it was there yesterday or if it was just new in a new patch, but it looks like there's these little circles around different objectives, which I'm assuming is like automated spotting ranges. I'm assuming any enemy ship within these radiuses will show up. And you can see the bigger the base, the wider the range. So you can see New Hebrides, which is a level 5 airfield, you know, you've got a much wider radius. Whereas Milne Bay, which is a level 1, you've only got a very small radius. So that's my assumption there. We're about to send a whole bunch of patrol planes out to start the morning of September 23rd, and then we'll see what's out there and what is available for us to strike at. Port Moresby is still hanging in there, but pretty much they're a goner. They're gonna fall soon. Meanwhile, at Milne Bay, our troops there have the upper hand, and they're winning that battle pretty considerably. And at Santa Cruz Islands, we've sent in some reinforcements to keep hanging on, hopefully long enough so that we can take Milne and then slowly win out at Santa Cruz. But that's the situation right now on September 23rd, 1942 at 5:12 a.m., and we're about to go ahead and get started. Meanwhile, Photon Ionizer, thanks for the follow. A host, Dragger, thank you for the follow. And Lord Deathhand, thank you very much for the sub. So, let's get going. All right, you can see, the one thing I really love is the visual of all these patrol planes going out and just kind of like checking out what's out there. Interesting. So we did detect an enemy task force to the north of Guadalcanal, consisting of 1 heavy cruiser, 2 light cruisers, and 2 destroyers. I'm not sure I'm really going to send anything out to go after them. We could divert the carrier north and use our Dauntlesses against them, but I think we'll ignore that for now. There they go, reaching their max patrol arcs. They're pulling back. You can see those enemy cruisers aren't even heading toward us anyway. Oh boy. 2 destroyers, 3 oilers, 3 merchants, another enemy task force located here in the Solomon Sea. The only question is where they're headed. Presumably they're not going to send in some oilers to the front line Milne Bay to reinforce. So I would guess it's heading down toward Columbaga or Shortland or maybe even Guadalcanal. It's still a ways out though. If it's headed anywhere but Shortland. Did I get a new mic? No, I got a new board, Lazy Titan. Do I sound bad? I got a compressor, an audio mixer, and I'm still kind of learning how to make it all work. Okay, so they're way out there. We've got 300 points. Why don't we go ahead and purchase a new... We're gonna build a new surface action group here. No, I don't want to... I gotta keep these guys covering Milne Bay, so I don't want to send them way up there. The second carrier, their Enterprise, is under repair for another 14 days, so we're a little bit handicapped there. The North Carolina we did send into port. I'm not sure if she's repairing or not. She did take a little bit of damage from the Yamato, remember? She took like one 18-inch shell, and then I was just like, screw this, and booked it out of there. So the North Carolina is apparently not under repair, though. Yeah, well, we could form her up, I guess. Oh, by the way, before we do that, I think Task Force 27 is in range with its supplies and engineering to unload. No, they're not. So they got to get a little bit closer. Let's build a new task force. It's going to be a battleship task force. So we're going to go with the North Carolina. You know what, guys? I'm feeling lucky. 2 battleships, boys. The North Carolina and the Washington. Let's also go with a Cleveland class. As always, I like to go with my grandfather's ship, Oklahoma City. You don't even need an Atlanta. The Oklahoma Cities have more anti-aircraft fire than the Atlantas, and they've got a better surface punch, too. They have 12, well, maybe not better, but it's still very good. 12 5-inch guns. That's a pretty good secondary battery there for anti-aircraft. Plus, with the 2 battleships, I mean, who needs a frickin' Atlanta? Oops. All right, so that leaves us with 126 points. So let's add more ships. Another task force here. What class do we want to go with? First off, let's go with some Fletchers. So I'm going to want 5 Fletchers. Okay, so 5 Fletcher class destroyers. That still leaves us with another 70 points to spend here, boys. So let's get another Cleveland as well. That's 2 Cleveland Lights. I can't do the Baltimores yet. So we'll do the Wichita. And then one Atlanta, I guess. Oh wait, this is going to be too big of a task force. I can't actually form everybody up. So we've got 3 ships currently. So we're just going to have to dump the Atlanta. So we'll go ahead and merge. And there you go. We'll save the remaining 30 points, potentially for some resupply efforts or whatnot, although we already have a fair amount of merchant shipping out there for resupply. I have not been on a Cleveland class, but if there is one around, I'd love to get on one. So I think a circular formation makes the most sense at this stage. So we'll do battleships at 5 and 8. So Washington at 5. North Carolina at 8. So battleships at 5 and 8. We're going to put the Clevelands at 9 and 10 on the flank, I think. So battleships at 5 and 8, light cruisers at 9 and 10, heavy cruiser at 2, I think. And so that gives us a heavy cruiser at 2, battleships at 5 and 8, light cruisers at 9 and 10, and destroyers at 1, 3, 4, 6, and 7. I think that's a pretty good layout for this task force. This is a beautiful task force. All right, boys. Unfortunately, it looks like it can't make more than 20 knots. I thought the Washington and North Carolina were fast battleships. In any event, we're going to go ahead and send them north. I think they can hold their own versus most enemy air attacks. Maybe not if we get in the range of Raval and their Bettys, but at the end of the day, I don't plan to do that. This is a go beat them down. This is a task force that it would have been fun to engage the Yamato with. I'll just put it that way. All right, so can we unload these guys yet? Yep, all right. So Renel gets 100 more engineers. They're 100 away from having enough to upgrade the port. And they also get another 2,000 supplies, which will make sure they have enough supplies to upgrade the port. Meanwhile, these cargo ships will go down and return to New Hebrides. I'm not too worried about enemy subs because I think they only have 2 more of them, by the way. And we'll keep this, we'll keep on keeping on. See where these guys are going on our way back. I think they're headed east. They might be headed for the slot. There's also 3 destroyers in the Solomon Sea heading somewhere. It looks like they might be screening the flank of that task force. All right, so our battleships are heading north. Let's go ahead and pause. The question is, do I have any reason to replenish this cargo task force? So right now we're sitting on about 2,000 supplies and 1,000 fuel and 1,000 troops. I don't really have any use of pushing that stuff forward anywhere. So I'm actually going to go ahead and release this cargo ship. I need more supplies before I can really push anything forward to Milne or anywhere else. We're down to 97 soldiers on Port Moresby. You know what? Let's do this. Let's do 2. Do 1 Farragut. We'll do 2 Farraguts. We'll try and throw 500 extra troops on board. I don't think it will prevent Port Moresby from falling. I don't even think they'll get there in time. It's going to take almost 2 days to get there. But we'll try. If we can get 500 troops at Moresby, maybe it'll let them hang on another week or something like that. I don't know. Your CAG, thank you very much for the follow. And Lazy Titan 1126, thank you for the sub. All right, so let's go ahead and get this going here. Our battleships are on the way north. Arsenal, my podcast, which one? The one that we just kind of bullshit around? That's Single Malt Strategy. And we do some developer interviews on Developer Dialogue. But I would say the one I've been doing the longest and the one that I think is the most in tune with my personality is called Single Malt Strategy. That has myself, Tortuga, Power, who's another YouTuber, and then the Strategy Wargamer. And we just kind of talk about war games and strategy games and whatnot. Try to do it every 2 weeks, but we're really bad at getting episodes up. Damian Dixon, thank you very much for the follow. All right, so at 5 in the morning, I am going to have to pause this here to go ahead and get some recon out again so we can figure out what the situation looks like at the beginning of September 24th. I hate how freaking long it takes. Like, every day I got to do this. All right. So fly this guy up towards Shortland, directly over multiple Japanese bases. Fly this guy up the slot. Okay. We'll see what we can see. I do like this little function where I can hide the aircraft on the map, so that way I can keep telling these guys what to do. Okay, and we also could throw some float planes off the battleships too. Your part-time job, planning patrol routes every single day. Yeah, even war in the Pacific gives you better tools for managing recon, and that's like the most groggy of all games ever devised in the history of human civilization. Okay, I'm sure it makes for really exciting streaming content. Watch now as the streamer that you're watching spends 5 minutes every 30 minutes plotting individual aircraft's patrol routes. Hopefully he doesn't get lazy. That's what we were doing the whole beginning of the series. We're just being lazy, and then we got steamrolled. The walrus. All right, almost done for now. All right, I'm gonna do one more. Actually, I don't think I have any more aircraft to do, so I think we're good there. We could do Milne Bay, I guess. We should do Milne Bay. Can't wait till they let my Wildcats have 100-pound bombs. Let me have that ability now, please. I know, you know, that would make them so much better anti-shipping, and they were used pretty heavily in anti-shipping roles, so. Release the walrus! Damn right. Alright, so. Task Force 34 is our battleship task force. Meanwhile, we've got more ships that have returned to New Hebrides. We'll go ahead and have the Yorktown replenish its, supplies. Then I think this task force is gonna get ditched too. I don't have any use for it until I get more resupply. There they go, boys. Why are none of them flying? Oh, I turned off aircraft, that's why. 2 destroyers in the slot. These guys replenish yet, by the way? Yeah, all right, so let's just double check. Yep, we got our air wings back. We're back in business, boys. Get that task force north, back up toward Rennell. Maybe we'll go bomb some destroyers. I could add the bombs myself with 5 minutes of text editing. Like, yeah, but the game doesn't have 100-pounder, so I'd have to like actually create a 100-pound bomb. I could give them 1,000-pounders, and that would be absurd, but I could do it. All right, so we spotted the enemy merchant ships here. Guadalcanal's here. So is Guadalcanal still at a 0? 0, 0, 0, 0. Shortland's at a 2. So dive bombers could come out of Shortland, but the Val barely has enough range to get down around the slot. So I'm going to go ahead and send these ships in. It's going to take 8 hours to get them in there, but there should be no threat unless there's enemy carriers around. Now, if there are enemy carriers around, we might be fucked. But I got to intercept these guys, and I don't know that my carriers are going to get up here fast enough. So I think we'll have our carriers take a more direct route, but it's still going to take probably like 10 hours till they're in strike range. Do the 1,000-pound Wildcats, please. right. These guys should be able to get up there before the Japanese get into harbor, I think. All right, it is 1300 hours. Our battleship of doom stack is nearby, so let's go ahead and get some Kingfishers up and see if we can't spot where the enemy ships are. Where did they go? Oh no. No, 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 no. No. They got in there faster than I thought they would. Carrier's still too far away to hit them before they unload. I don't think they can get inside 6 nautical miles before I can engage them. I hope. Why isn't it like triggering an action here? Well, whatever. I'm just going to go right into tactical map and assume that we're going to spot these guys before they unload their cargo. Oh man, this is going to be such a sexy task force to see. Do we have any aircraft? We do. We have 1 Kingfisher, so that'll help us spot. Turn on your radars. Look at that. Battleships in formation. Oh my god, we're already... Whoa, 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 whoa. How close are we? We're already engaging? Oh god. Hopefully their destroyers don't throw torpedoes at us. Like, look at this. Look at how close in we are. What kind of spawn is that? Okay, we might take some damage here. Just because, like, oh, god damn it. This is stupid. Oh no, drop frames. I see some drop frames. Oh boy, this might be difficult once everything starts firing. Okay, so what do we do here? I don't even know what to do. Oh my god. Hey boys, we were just asking for your papers. Yeah, so please respond. Please file your shipping papers with us, your transit papers, custom papers. All right, so this is what we're gonna do. Torpedoes. We just like manually fire into this convoy. So this guy can fire most easily because he's got no one in his way. I'm a little bit worried about this guy firing where he wouldn't end up hitting my own ships. But apparently this ship doesn't have torpedoes? Does the oh no, it does. So we're gonna have to manage the Bennett, the Bach, and potentially the Guest, although that's firing down the length of the enemy task force, so let's do this instead. All right, so the Bennett, you're going to target the lead enemy destroyer, which is what? What kind of ship is this? It's got 3 torpedo mounts, which is just great for us. I'm sure they could rain real havoc on us if they get a torpedo solution on us at this range. What is this guy? Bring up the recognition manual. Can I filter by Japanese destroyers? Yep. So the kamikaze. Could be a Fubuki. 1, 2, 3, 2 rear. Looks like a Fubuki. Oh no, guys. Look at this. Their torpedo mounts are already turning. We're fucked. This one only has 2 though, so this isn't a Fubuki. This is probably... Ritsu? The smaller rear funnel with the 2 turrets here. This is an oiler, whatever the hell the... Not a merchant ship, but an oiler. Merchant ship. All right, so I think we have all of their ships successfully identified. So now the question is, who do we shoot at? I don't want to manually shoot those guns. I'm just going to order everybody to start shooting. Focus on the enemy destroyers who haven't fired their torpedoes yet. The solution will get figured out. This is going to be a nightmare to spot, by the way. They're going to be like, oh yeah, spotting. Well, there's splashes everywhere, so who knows. Over under on how long these Japanese ships survive before they just get obliterated. Okay. So, I think the question at this point is, I mean, I think immediately, at this range, we've got to immediately start maneuvering the task force to avoid their torpedoes that they're going to fire. So everybody's formed up on guest. So I'll order it to move, but we may have to take evasive maneuver. I don't really want to obliterate this formation quite yet. All right, everybody start moving your guns. All right, everybody, just jumping in here real quick, because as you can tell, this game got really choppy and the frame rate dropped precipitously. At the end of the day, I ended up having some issues where the game was just not able to handle, you know, 10 ships all engaging 10 enemy ships while firing literally over 100 naval guns all at the same time and dealing with the ballistics here. You can just see the sheer number of splashes. This really has to do with just the sheer amount of stuff that was going on all simultaneously. And I think probably also because I was trying to render, stream, and play simultaneously. That shouldn't be an issue in the future, because I did actually upgrade my PC within the last week, and I have a much newer processor. and I've also switched to streaming over my video card to handle the rendering. So I don't think this will happen in the future, but there were some incidents in this particular stream where things really slowed down and we had a lot of frame rate problems. I fixed that here in a few moments, but just sort of explaining why things look real choppy and like crap. Could have just skipped ahead, but I also kind of wanted you guys to still see what happened with the torpedo launches, with the initial engagements, and we obliterated the Japanese destroyers already. So you can see that was a pretty successful opening. Several salvos. Our destroyer Bennett here is flooding and on fire. The Oklahoma City has a small fire going, but we've already sunk the Fubuki and the Hachiro, and now it's really just a matter of gunning down the escorts and finishing things up. With that being said, let's jump right back into the live stream, and I think this is where the video gets a little bit better here, roughly at about this point. We'll see if this is any better. I had to stop the stream for a second, you guys, but I think it might be doing better here. It doesn't look like it's dropping frames. It claims we're getting 60 FPS, but I don't know if that's true. Just look at this mayhem. By the way, to answer your earlier question, no, none of the Japanese submarines or destroyers are alive still. All of our flooding seems to be taken care of, although the Oklahoma City does have a fire. We hit one of the enemy torpedo! We got a torpedo hit! Hell yeah! Another one! Somewhere! I heard it! Oh no, that was the Wichita. Fuck! Fuck! No! But apparently no damage? Wichita struck by torpedo. No damage. Okay. That's nice. Torpedo protection system for the win, I guess. The battleships they overshot on. Oh, that's cool. Hey, look, there's shells in midair. Oh, you're not shooting at anything because we sank them all. By the way, okay. So what's left? All right. Yeah. Is it really just these 3 ships? This is going to be like the least ammo I've used in any battle before, and it's going to be because we sank the enemy ships so fast. Oklahoma City does have some fires. Bro, get your fire extinguishers out. Alright, so we're good there. We'll take a look at my grandpa's ship, which wouldn't historically have even been completed yet, but hey, you know. Give me those big BB guns. Go boom again. Well, the target it was shooting at sunk. Another one sunk. There's only one ship left. Yeah, so just the Nippon Maru. Why is no one shooting at it? Come on, guys. You don't gain anything by being nice to the enemy. Sink the bastards. Poor Nippon Maru. She does not stand a chance. Rip. Oh, am I going to ram it? Yeah, don't do that. Turn. Turn. Uh-oh. Hey, you don't have a target. I found one for you. Don't have any torpedoes left. Damn. That would have been fun. So there's such a thing as friendly fire, boys, and you may not want to run into your own shell fire. Just a thought. We win. It's over. All right. Well, let's get out of here, boys. One of our ships took some damage. Some of our ships took some damage, but that was the weirdest fight I've ever seen in this game. Well, there you go. Moderate damage on the Bennett, moderate damage on the Bach, no damage on any of our other ships. And we sank 3 merchants, three oilers, and 2 destroyers for 43 more command points. Soon we're going to be able to have the whole U.S. Navy stationed on here. We didn't even use very many shells here. I guess we'll send our battleships down to see if they can't engage these guys down here, these destroyers. No resupply for Guadalcanal. That is my strategy right now. Rings around Guadalcanal. How much ammo did we even use up? So if we take a look, Oklahoma City sitting on 1,200 3-inch shells still of the HE variety, 600 AP. Cleveland, the same. North Carolina still has over 1,000 16-inch shells. Washington still has over 1,000 16-inch shells. Granted, those are HE, but they still have 252 of the AP. So we're in pretty good shape. No one took any real damage either that I don't think can't be repaired. Task Force beatdown. I can rename the task force. There you go. Task force renamed. Nothing to it. All right, so Moresby's hanging in there, the 83 brave lads. But Milne Bay still fighting valiantly. We'll release this task force as I have nothing to put on them. All right, and that's going to do it for this episode of War on the Sea, a new game out by Killerfish Games. We just won a great Iron Bottom Sound turkey shoot, if you will, against a Japanese transport convoy and some surface vessels of ours. Had some issues with frame rates and things like that, but I think that was more on my side than the game's. And we'll see how things play out when we pick this up next time. Until next time, however, this is the Historical Gamer saying once again, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, I'm out.